Call the meeting to order at 3:04. Attendance, Sue here, Martha's here. We're not doing a non-public, we don't.
I don't think we need to after all. I wasn't sure, but
You want to wait and do the flag now, or wait till people?
probably wait till 4:50 like usual,
All
right?
right.
Do you want me to get Kelly for this session, or for the afternoon, the later in the afternoon session to put her seal on that?
Wait till I finish signing it, and then you can get it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She come in and asked me if she could have them. I said, well, I haven't got them yet.
Madam Chair, what are you signing?
The permission for Karen to borrow money, hand note.
There'll be a formal vote coming.
Yeah.
Just pre-signing the stuff as we usually do upstairs.
We haven't had to do that for a long time.
We've continued to renew it annually, but you're correct, we have not borrowed from it in at least 2.5 years, I believe.
Okay, yes. That one too? That's for the community taxes. This order for demolishing or repairing hazardous buildings, is that going to be filed someplace, or is it just?
That's going back to the attorney, and the attorney will do something
has
with
to
it.
be.
Yes.
Probably should put it on the red folder and mention it, or
I think so.
you want to do it, or you want me to?
Well, that contains legal information that we could have done if we went into the non-public. I don't think you necessarily need to do that, but, well, we're going to be talking about it in a bit of a different context, so that's up to you
All right.
as it relates to the paving of the road and such.
Oh, all right, okay. Oh, I forgot to say how we understand. How's the chief doing with his new hip?
Great. He says feels like $1 million. He was back to work on Monday. We just met him out to look at one of the properties that we were working on cleaning up, and he's doing well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Have we got Matt's work session? Did you bring?
Good call, Sue. It's right in front of me. Thank you. That's the corrected one, hot off the press.
Thank you. Goes to Andrea. And that's Nan's. That's the workshop, yeah. minutes to do so from the public meeting? You don't get too much here. Well, whatever you want, you want 'em? Let's see what we're paying this week. Yeah, if you want to, Kelly wants to come in and get that all done. How it went to.
Is this a good time for you to take a break?
Okay, you have to do it. You gotta do-
Well, we're in a meeting. If you don't mind, we'll just do it. Thanks, Bill. I wasn't sure which session we were going to do it.
Okay.
They told me to sign the document.
Oh, this is a workshop here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to make a motion to sign the documents to approve the renewal of our $2,500,000 tax anticipation note at the Bank of New Hampshire with an interest rate of 6.25%.
That should say 8.25.
Says 6.
Oh. That was
Don't
put in
change
there.
it, I like the
I do
6 better
too.
than I do the 8.
That was put in there last week, and then the bank came back with different pricing because the attorney says it's not tax exempt, so these, you can,
Did this say same thing, or?
this is 8.25, the bank came back and 8.25.
Okay.
Yeah. Seems very high, prime rate's at 8.5, so this is actually less than prime rate right now, it's just the rate environment that we're in. The Fed has raised rates multiple times per year for the last 3 years.
Okay, well, we can finish that motion to the TAN of New Hampshire for $2.5 million at an 8.25% of interest. Need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Kelly. Have that.
Did you guys? I've got the other paper for you to sign.
So what we need to do on that is the seal under the signature on that page of the promissory note, which is the top document.
On this one?
Yep, just right there in that space. Madam Chair, can I present this back to you with it corrected on the cover sheet and just have you both initial it that it's okay as with the correction? Sorry about that. That was done prior to the bank changing their opinion. Thank you,
Thank you.
Kelly.
No, thank you.
Excellent.
Kelly want this, all this stuff, or she's just sealing it?
That's all
Give it to
coming.
Karen, you'll get it.
That's all coming to me now because I've got stuff to do with it. Thank you.
You've already seen all these bills, so. Do you have anything, TJ, or are we gonna wait and do this
We gotta wait till.
public meeting?
Madam Chair, may I ask the administrator a question?
Okay.
The tax anticipated note is not tax exempt.
So our new firm, Drummond Woodsum, has a bond and municipal finance specialist who says the basically it's not, a small portion might be, but it requires a lot more legal research and limits, the dollar amount that we could get approved would be less if we go through the tax exempt route. And he didn't think that he could give it a legal opinion that it qualified under, I'd have to get you the specific RSA, but that was news to us. We had always had tax exempt pricing. This is something that was brought to our attention when we switched town attorneys last year to somebody who specializes in this.
The town residents have to pay back that loan, and then the government's going to say that you have to pay
So-
taxes. How do you get, that's like
So
double
the
taxation.
tax exemption would be not for the borrower, but if you're an investor who buys municipal bonds, they're typically tax exempt. So the purchaser of the debt in this case is the bank. They're going to have to pay taxes on the interest earned. So it's not whether or not the town is, the difference to us is in the rate. The rate is higher because they're going to have to claim it as non-tax exempt revenue when and if we borrow and pay back interest.
So they're charging you a higher rate because they have to pay back, they have to pay
100%.
taxes.
That's why municipal bonds tend to have a lower rate than corporate bonds if you're an investor, because they also show you the tax exempt yield as if, so that you get paid less as a coupon rate, but the tax doesn't exist. So you figure out what that it's a tax effective yield it's called.
That's good information.
I was a banker prior, comes in handy occasionally. But that is contrary to the legal opinion we had received in the past for our TAN, so. If I could find it while we speak, I don't mind putting it on the public record what RSA that is, but see if I can find it. It's probably not an RSA though, that's probably federal tax law. Let me check the emails.
We should do a podcast on that because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of towns who are using them.
And they may qualify, but so the attorney Stephen Whitley from Drummond Woodsum, part of his determination would be based on estimated cash flow shortage. Because of the good fiscal management that the town has had for the last several years, and mainly collecting a lot of back taxes, we haven't had to use it. So it's illogic, or it's hard to believe that we're for sure going to have a cash flow shortage that would justify the tax exempt. We hopefully don't, because it's been properly managed. And that is a departure from what most people in the room right now inherited. So I don't know, maybe before there was easy to justify cash flow shortage every year. We don't have that now, which is a good thing.
I should compare this to what the county is doing, because the county also uses a TAN, so it'd be
Yep.
interesting to see that.
So I'm going to quote the attorney here. He says, to be tax exempt, Treasury regulations limit the TAN to no larger than the maximum cumulative cash flow deficiency anticipated by the town, plus an additional cushion of 5% of the prior fiscal year's expenditures for operating expenses. So we didn't have any cash flow shortage last year that we couldn't pay without using the TAN. So essentially, he's saying our ability to borrow tax exempt. Again, it's not that we're being taxed, it's the bank who earns interest income is going to be taxed on that income, whereas normally municipal bonds and such are tax exempt to the people who earn interest from them.
Well, that should be changed at the federal level.
100% agree.
I guess I should run for president.
I know.
Did it.
Yeah, I don't really understand the rationale there. It's there as a safety net in case you do have a cash flow shortage from people not being able to pay their taxes or otherwise. As you know, we're required to pay the school according to their schedule. We're required to pay the county. So whether we've collected it or not, we still owe it. So by definition or default to me, that would qualify you for possibly needing cash flow. We can't just not pay the school, for instance. We've been down that road legally.
Might as well recess until,
I don't get it.
it's an hour.
We can get the money, it's going to be at a higher rate.
We do this into the public session.
Unless they have something.
Have anything on?
For me, I think for public session, I think TJ's thinking the same.
Well, I'll make a motion to recess till 4:15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
316.
Take a little.
Which is a good thing. I don't know if this ended up in front of you, but it looks like somebody left us a letter that was just at our...
Oh, you did. It's going to be-
But I had one guy
Rock and roll.
Whatever you probably should then once the, well, we're going to readjoin the meeting. Yeah, both when it comes time, but we're going to do the pledge first.
You get around.
I'll get on, thanks.
He didn't have anyone on his team.
So 4:15, I call this meeting, reconvene the meeting, and ask you to join us in pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you like another one?
Oh, here it is. I had to put that. Okay, we will open this meeting to public input. Anybody have anything?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to speak on behalf of the Ossipee Public Library. I'm Jen Spofford, I'm the director. And in September, we are offering library overdue fine amnesty month. And so we're inviting everyone back to the library to return their overdue items, and your fines will be forgiven. We also have an upcoming story time with Sadie. Sadie's a therapy dog, and we are going to have her at the library on the 8th of September and the 29th of September at 3:30.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Yes.
I'm John Bent at 50 Bay Point Road. I just wanted to draw attention, and I wrote a letter for you about the maintenance of the road. Last about 1,100 feet of Bay Point Road has really cut back on the maintenance, and we've had no explanation as to why this has happened. But there are over 40 potholes in it at the moment. There are washout areas. Even today, coming here, one of the neighbors was digging a trench in the road to try and solve his problem, but just wanted to make sure that it got looked at. It's a very densely populated area. There's 25 residences in that 1,100 feet of road.
Can I speak on it?
I'll respond to that, okay.
So there's a pretty good explanation in the fact that we had 9 roads that were completely shut down with washouts. We're still trying to get those 100% open. We should finish Boggs Ridge Road tomorrow, and then we're going right on to Effingham Road. We got Bean Mountain open, and we're trying to get around to all of them. And there are many roads that have not had the gradings they usually have, but we have three private excavators today, actually. The grader, the backhoe, everything's going nonstop, but it's just we got to get around to the washouts. We're actually, with the new TV, we're going to bring up some pictures here in the next couple weeks so you can see what we've done, but we're spending a significant amount of money on getting everything back open. The amount of gravel that we've used is about 2 times the budget we have for it. We just got to get roads passable before we worry about, potholes. So we are trying to get around, but Neil's doing the best he can to try to get roads completely open and open to full width instead of down to 1 lane. And I encourage anybody to ride down to Foggs Ridge Road or Effingham Road or Bean Mountain and or Pine Hill Road and look at the progress that we've made. It's just slow, and when we get around to it, we go around and make sure they're passable and check them, but there are a few potholes.
Well, I appreciate the current issue with these storms this spring,
Yep.
but there have been 4 incidents in the last 2 years, including a few weeks ago as a result of these big storms, where the other end of Bay Point Road has been maintained, and the other dirt roads in that Bay Point Levitt Road area have been maintained, but it stops about 1,100 feet from the end of the road.
Yep. They do what, they go around and they figure out what's the worst and they try to get it done. We have more town roads than a lot of towns around us, actually anyone around us, as far as paved or dirt. And you gotta try to get to all of them, and he's doing the best he can. I wish he was here tonight, he could speak on it, but I can tell you firsthand, Matt was down there today. There's a huge amount of work being done, and if you want to go down and look, you can. We're going to put some pictures up here. We're dealing with ledge. We're trying to fix things so we don't have to fix them again. Stay the way they are. We did that on Pine Hill Road. We had 2 heavy rains, and it stayed through it. So we're trying to fix it right, but the gradings and the routine maintenance are getting behind, that's for sure.
So this isn't a change in procedure?
No. Those last 2 storms have cost the town probably over $1 million if we had to fix them.
TJ's working very, very hard with FEMA to try to acquire funding. Some of what we have dealt with has already been declared national emergencies, and some have been declared at the state level by the governor, and requesting that the federal government declare them as national disasters and emergencies so we can wipe their funding. So that's the level of storm that we're dealing with on 3 or 4 occasions in 1 year, which is completely abnormal.
The last 2 storms, the first thing they would do when they come out on, it was a Sunday, the last one. I come out, and what we had to do was make sure that the campers in different campgrounds, they couldn't get out of the campground. There's 200 and something people stuck in a campground. We had to try to get them out first. And then as Neil got roads open to 1 lane, we come back in and try to get everything open to 2 lanes. And when we got it open to 2 lanes, we tried to go around and get everybody out of the driveway, because we had multiple people that had to leave their car in their driveway and walk out to the road to get, so they could go to work and stuff. So we tried to get all that stuff done and prioritize, and unfortunately grading and a few potholes isn't as bad as what we were trying to fix.
So again, I understand the acceptable condition this year, but
Yep.
this has been going on. It's almost as if some maintenance procedure changed and they're not going to do normal maintenance on that end of the road anymore.
Yeah, I'll go down and look at it, but we wrote all of those last week, and we'll take a look at it, all right?
Thank you, TJ. Okay, any more public input? If not, I'll turn it over to Matt.
All right, TJ, want to grab the lights for us, please? So the Friends of Constitution Park and through Edlina Boost have put together a slideshow of all the fine work they've done.
Really?
Not a drum shot.
It's way cooler. Way cooler. Hanging out the window. Walking on it, thrill seeking and photographing.
I just want to mention that since this has been done, the story walk trails have been put in by the Schools Out program.
Awesome.
On the green trail. And the 2 6-foot picnic tables have been put up, one on Beaver Trail at one of the sites that you can see, the Beaver Pond, as well as at the top of Hilltop.
The Friends group did the picnic tables?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
but,
amazing.
but two of your staff helped lug them down there.
Good.
Justin and Mike, and, because me and another 77-year-old couldn't do it ourselves, we need 2 young bucks to do it. But the 4 of us lugged them down there.
That's great.
I hope you get a chance to walk down there and see how it's really set up nicely now. The people can picnic down there if they want to.
That's awesome.
But the point is, we can't do this without the support. You saw TJ and others when we put the sign up. I mean, we don't have the equipment, we don't have but when we don't have the manpower, they've been really supportive, and I want to thank them.
Thank you all.
Thank you
And
all.
I'll just
very
add
much.
that this coming Saturday, we have a rescheduled party in the park from 10 to 1, so the weather forecast, crossing our fingers, looks pretty darn good. So we hope you'll come out.
Okay, I have the Town of Ossipee check voucher totals for the week ending May 15th. Total payroll was $38,180.41. Accounts payable general fund was $144,318.61. Fire precincts were paid $146,486.44. School payment this month was $1,440,358. Water department $425, and sewer $147.33. Total for the week was $1,771,215.79. Make a motion to approve this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Received a letter from the State of New Hampshire Department of Transportation. The total amount the town's going to receive this year for the highway block grant is $178,687.53.
That's the total for the year or one of the quarterly
That's
payments?
just a year. You get 4 individual payments.
Each at that amount, correct?
No.
No?
It's total for the full year.
Okay, I'll check into that.
It's 53 in July, 53 in October, 35 in January, and 35 in...
Okay. Meals and rooms tax is quite a bit more than that. Maybe I'm confusing it with...
like everything else. Okay, we received a letter from the State of New Hampshire Department of Natural and Cultural Resources, Division of Forest and Lands. We'll be doing a cut this fall in one of Ossipee Lake Natural Area that's located on Route 25. The early stages of the planning for this harvest, which do not anticipate offering for public bidding until the fall of '23. At that time, you'll be notified to the timber volume sold and the successful bidder who will respond for the timber tax. There's a map here. It's over on Route 25 East.
Does it say how big of an area?
That's
Did you say how big an area?
44 acres. We received a letter from the Business and Economic Affairs, the renewal of our ERZ certification, that's revaluation of economic revaluation zone. I'm going to make a motion to appoint Matt Sawyer to be the contact person for this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm all set.
I have the Selectmen's meeting Monday, July 31st, 2023. I make a motion, we approve the Selectmen's minutes.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have the Selectmen's work session for Monday, July 31st, 2023. I make a motion, we approve these work session minutes.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. I have a request for an abatement, map 91, lot 39, in the amount of $3,460. That's an abatement for the Moultonville United Methodist Church. I make a motion, we approve this abatement.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have a water and sewer warrant in the amount of $22,263.73. I make a motion, we approve this water and sewer warrant.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have a water and sewer warrant in the amount of $11,740.92. I make a motion, we approve this water and sewer warrant.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it. Bill? Have any old business or new business, boys?
I do. So this relates to us both. The paving on Huckins Road is supposed to happen by the end of the month. However, if anybody's driven down it lately, you would see the barn on the side of Huckins Road, which technically is at 88 Main Street, but the barn comes on and abuts Huckins Road. The foundation, the old granite foundation, has caved in and failed along that road. Per town legal, we are getting an emergency engineering study done on it. Starting tomorrow, I have a meeting with the engineer and the property owner to determine what the risk and liability is and see if we can shore it up somehow, because we're way too far down the paving path to not do it now. So, but ultimately, we need to know it's safe at the same time. So that's happening. Anything you want to add?
No, it's just all the structures have been lowered there.
What do you mean by structures?
So your like sewer manholes and your water gate valves, they've all been lowered because we ground it. And you gotta have them up for the winter, so if we have any issues, so kind of really not an option. So we gotta figure it out because there's a 2-inch base going on that and then a 1-inch overlay. So when you put your 2-inch base, you bring your structures up 1 inch above your 2-inch base and then put a 1-inch overlay over the top of it, and it ties everything in. If you don't do that, you can't plow, etc. So hopefully they figure something out, because we need to figure it out.
Town attorney, obviously the attorney's job is to mitigate risk. You know, they immediately are suggesting that we shut the road right down, and that's obviously not a real easy option. The logistics of that are a nightmare, and for the people on the road, we're going to get the engineering done first before we go to that extreme length, and hopefully we can figure out how to avoid that.
I'm Joe Gilday, I own the barn.
Hey, Joe.
And we're going to meet tomorrow with TJ, and we're going to get it squared away. It's basically the road has been settling and pushing in against the barn, knocking the granite blocks out. And so I'd like to see the road, when it gets repaved, to get the water from going into the barn, away from the barn. So hopefully you can work that out tomorrow.
Yep, so the engineer from HEB confirmed our 9 o'clock appointment, so we'll both be there with the engineer to meet with you. Thanks.
Okay, I'm going to open the meeting back up to public input.
I guess I have a question now.
Dallas.
I'm not sure I'm lost with this whole conversation you have with the building and the structure. You're saying that the road pushed, and I'm sorry, I'm just asking. He said the road pushed his blocks out, and we have to pay for an engineer to see if his building is structurally sound? Is what you're saying?
So ultimately, the town would attempt to recoup any costs of the deficient building per RSA 155B, I think, which there's more legalities involved in that than I can speak on right now, but ultimately.
Okay, because I just heard two different things. I heard him saying the road's pushing his building out, and yours just saying you gotta get an emergency order, otherwise you have to shut the street down.
Now, as you know, Dallas, the road has a crown and the water runs to the edge of the
That
road.
way. I mean, that's
That barn is 1.5 2 feet. It's right on the edge of the road.
Right.
The water's always gonna run off the side of the road. I can't make it run uphill or nothing, so
Right.
it's a hard place, and it's just for me is when we've got so much in line, as you know, with paving, you have set dates and schedules, and if you push one back.
Right. And I understand. I'm trying to figure out money in this whole aspect of it. I guess it's more of an emergency than a money issue, but at some point, money's going to be an issue on this, right? Because it's going to cost a little bit to get that barn raised back up to where it needs to be.
That would not be something that the town is going to.
You're just going to do the engineering and shore it up?
We're going to see what the engineer recommends and go from there with legal counsel and the property owner who's here to figure that out. But the town wouldn't be typically responsible to pay for those kind of repairs. If it was a matter of life and death, then the town would do it if we had to for liability, and then ultimately a civil action could be brought against the landowner to recollect the costs.
Well, we just want to work together and try to get it all straightened out.
That's my hope, definitely.
Okay.
The engineer might say we don't have to do anything, so
Yeah, hopefully the engineer has good news, I don't know.
That's right.
I have a picture from 1987 showing the foundation kind of kicking in at that, and so hopefully we'll get it all squared away.
Yep.
Anything, Sue? Any more public input? Our next meeting will be held on August 28th. And being nothing further, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.